Right now on KGW, President Donald Trump briefs the nation his first 6 weeks in office, with some Congress members walking out in protest. How Oregon's lawmakers react. Plus, a pain point for almost 20 years. Oldtown community welcomes the removal of a pair of statues, calling this a new beginning.
And what a beautiful sunny afternoon we have here at 12 o'clock noon. I'm meteorologist Rod Hill on the KGW weather deck, a new outdoor space where we're going to be bringing you weather outdoors more often, sponsored by Rick's Custom Fencing.
And later, Paralympics is just about 1 year away. One American gold medalist describes her experience competing in the Winter Games. Thanks for joining us. I'm China Green. We start with an update to the White House's plan to dismantle the United States Agency for International Development. In a 5-4 decision, the Supreme Court just ruled in favor of an order that would force the White House to pay $2 billion to USAID contractors. Specific projects affected by the payment freeze include the installation of water pumping stations in Ukraine, the supply of medical equipment in Vietnam and Nepal, and measures to combat malaria in Kenya, Uganda, Ghana, and Ethiopia. The lower court hearing is scheduled for Thursday on when the funds must be paid out. Now, this ruling comes a day after the longest presidential speech ever to a joint session of Congress. President Donald Trump speaking at the Capitol for more than an hour and a half last night, recapping his first 6 weeks in office and laying out his vision for the nation's future. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest from Washington.
Hi there. President Trump is in Washington today after last night's address to a joint session of Congress. No campaign-style tour across the country to sell his agenda like presidents often do. He's content to let his record stand on its own after his first 6 weeks in office. The speech lasted more than an hour and a half, with the president taking swipes at Democrats who held up signs, some walking out in protest. He touched on a wide range of issues, defending new tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China, while admitting there will be, quote, a little disturbance in the short term, referencing potential price jumps and stock market drops. The president praised billionaire Elon Musk for his work to cut federal agencies and jobs, even as some Democrats had invited fired government workers to watch the speech as their guests. House Speaker Mike Johnson kicked Texas Democratic Representative Al Green out when Green vocally objected to President Trump's assertion that his election victory was a mandate for all the rapid changes he's made. In the Democratic response, Michigan Senator Alyssa Slotkin accused the president of not laying out a credible plan to lower grocery and home prices, issues the president had said he'd address on day one. President Trump also revealed Ukraine's president sent him a letter after last week's Oval Office showdown that led to a U.S. freeze on military aid to Ukraine. The president said he's working tirelessly to end Russia's war on Ukraine. President Trump also touted migrant deportations and his efforts to improve border security. Today, Vice President J.D. Vance visits the Texas-Mexico border to highlight the issue. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And during President Donald Trump's address, 2 Oregon lawmakers walked out and another refused to attend altogether. Maxine Dexter posted on social media last night saying she, quote, made a promise to her community to loudly fight back, relentlessly disrupt, unapologetically resist. Andrea Salinas in a statement said, quote, in a protest, I decided to leave the House chamber early rather than listen to more false promises from a wannabe dictator. Democratic Senator Ron Wyden decided not to attend the president's address, instead hosting his own town hall, saying he wanted to hear questions and ideas from Oregon residents.
There hadn't been a bad question in the House, and it says to me that Oregon is fired up for taking on the Musk-Trump presidency and getting these kinds of changes that are going to get us what we need in terms of health care and jobs and science and priorities.
We reached out to Republican Representative Cliff Benz from Oregon, but we have not heard back. He did post this on social media today. He wrote in part, the president outlined how he is delivering on his commitments to the American people. His speech reaffirmed the importance of securing our nation's future through strong leadership and action. All right, we're going to go to Rod Hill now, joining us for the first time ever from the KGW weather deck.
Yeah, you know, we've brought you outdoor weather before. We're going to be doing it on a more consistent basis as we roll through the upcoming spring months. Of course, we're here in downtown Portland, our beautiful outdoor space sponsored by Rick's Custom Fencing. You can see the downtown cityscape behind me. Looking around, it is just beautifully sunny outside. Let's give you an update on what to expect for the remainder of this afternoon. Radar earlier this morning showed some showers moving inland along the coast, but the last few hours you can see a few specks of green. The showers have been mostly holding out to sea. Here's Lincoln City, our Schnickwinds Casino Resort camera. Temperature outside on what's kind of a partly sunny to mostly cloudy day. We've been holding at 49 for the past hour. And here's that sunny look at downtown Portland from across the Willamette River. You can see all the sun, and we are warming up. We were around 40 this morning. We're at 53 degrees right now. And your planner, I've got us at 56 degrees this afternoon. I really don't think we can go much warmer than that. If we try to, we'll become unstable, and that's why you see the raindrop there on the day planner. I'm still including the chance for a spotty shower, but clearly most of your afternoon, most of your evening, you see the 8 o'clock temperature in the 40s, will be primarily dry. All right, outside right now on the KGW weather deck, again, our new outdoor space you're going to be seeing a lot of, sponsored by Rick's Custom Fencing. I'm going to come indoors, and I'll see you in about 10 minutes with your complete forecast.
All right, thank you, Rod. 2 Chinese sculptures have been removed this morning in Portland's Oldtown. For years, the Chinese American community in the area found the statues, quote, culturally offensive and called for their removal. The statues were installed in 2006 by Prosper Portland to symbolize the history and contributions of the Chinese community in Portland. But the community says the statues are stereotypical and are demeaning portrayal of their heritage and history. It also become a hotspot for those addicted to fentanyl. Crowds of people using the sculptures as a base to do drugs.
But what this means to the Chinese and Chinese American community and probably everyone in Oldtown, Chinatown, Japantown is hope. Because with this turning point, I think there is hope once again in this district.
Lee said she's excited to see new changes coming to the district, including a $34 million expansion development dedicated to Chinese culture. The search continues today for the 2-year-old missing toddler in Lincoln County. Dane Paulson had been missing since Saturday. The sheriff's office says that they are now focusing the search on the Slits River, as Dane was last seen near the river's edge playing in his family's front yard. Search teams have already covered over 680 acres, 340 walking miles, and 2 river miles with no signs of the 2-year-old.
From the bottom of my heart, and on behalf of Dane's family, thank you for all you have done. However, we are not finished.
The sheriff's office also said it won't be organizing any more volunteer community search efforts and are doing everything they can to bring Dane home soon. Lawmakers are debating a bill in Salem that could make tires more expensive in Oregon. Supporters of the bill estimate that adding a 4% excise tax on tires, it would bring in $25 million to the state every year. Businesses that install tires, new or used, would get hit with this tax directly and would also likely pass the extra cost on to their customers. Estimates show the price for a new set of tires would increase by about $40 to $70 on average. Bill sponsors say half the money from the tax would fund Amtrak Cascade's expansion. The other half would fund efforts to protect wildlife.
On the part that says we're going to tax tires to support rail, feels a little bit like a beef tax to encourage people to buy more chicken.
And this tax at 4% on tires is not that much money. It's less than the cost of a tank of gas for most people. You don't pay it every year, just pay it when you buy tires.
So if you would like to weigh in on this, you can submit testimony on the Oregon Legislature's website. All right, news that just came in from our network. NBC News has named Tom Yamas as the next anchor on NBC Nightly News after Lester Holt announced earlier this year that he'll be stepping down. Yamas joined NBC News 4 years ago. You've likely seen him covering breaking news and special political coverage. He's also appeared regularly on Today and Nightly News as a fill-in anchor. Lester Holt will step down at some point this summer.